Hey everybody, Bob Ciccarello. I am here in Orlando, Florida with the Olympia team. Sugar Sean Ray, Dan Solomon, and of course Tamer El Guindy. Olympia is coming up fast and furious. 4 weeks away. Big changes, Dan.
Somehow we ended up here in the heart of Central Florida, and you know what a turn of events it's been. And you know, I got to tell you, just the opportunity to kind of go through this journey with you guys and with the bodybuilding fans, and just hearing the excitement that came with the announcement we made the other day. You know, it was a stressful time for us. Tamer and I and Jake and our entire team spent a lot of time sort of deliberating the viability of moving a world-class event like the Olympia in just a matter of a few days, and an event that we'll typically spend 6-7 months producing, having to turn that around in 4 weeks. It's a monumental task, but
what was the catalyst, Dan, that you said, all right, I got to make a move like now?
Okay, so as of right now, there are several thousand people around the world that are expecting to be able to attend the Olympia. And we got some word from the state of Nevada and the governor's office and some folks in that area that made it very clear that that was becoming doubtful, that there was some circumstances surrounding some stay-at-home orders and a whole bunch of other realities that were making it obvious that there was a real chance that we were going to have to pick up the phone and call our VIPs, to call the guests of our athletes, to call Ticketmaster customers and say, guys, don't come.
Wow.
And I will tell you this, and Tamer and I talked about this, Jake and I talked about this, that was not going to happen under our watch. We weren't going to just sit back and let that happen. So we went ahead and we made some phone calls, and there's some great venues really around the world, and we're standing in one right now here at the Orange County Convention Center. And we were able to put a deal together that was able to provide a home for the entirety of the Olympia. Now remember, the Olympia isn't a one-night affair, it's a full week. We call it Olympia Weekend, but it's really a week. And we were able to find a great home for it, and the good news is that everybody out there who thinks they're planning to come to the Olympia, now they can do it.
Well, the saving grace, I think, Bob, is that the Nationals are actually being held right here where the Olympia is going to be held at, so we get a nice dry run. And Tamer, people were trying to talk about whether they were divorcing the Amateur Olympia from the Olympia. The Amateur is going to be held in concert with the Olympia, correct?
Absolutely. We have additional venues here in which we're going to do the pro bodybuilding. We're going to do also the amateur here. We're going to have the pavilion. We're going to have everything that you would expect on a normal Olympia. The heritage and the history of the Olympia is alive. Thanks to Jake Wood, Dan Solomon, Jim Mannion. We are not going to give up on the athletes. We are going to put an absolutely extraordinary event to the fans that are watching this and the athletes.
Dan, you got the right guy for the right job. Tamer, nobody knows the inside scoop, but we'll do that another time. Tamer actually put together a show that got canceled in 6 hours and actually got it done. It was in a hookah bar, but hey, beggars can't be choosers when it comes to putting on a show.
Guys, let's be honest. Everybody doing different jobs around the world is adapting and trying to figure out ways to, you know, kind of keep up with the day-to-day changes in the environment and in the circumstances. And the Olympia is just one example of it. I mean, we know the task that we have in front of us, but we know there's people around the world in different careers and different lifestyles who are adapting just like we are. And the most important thing to me is how patient everybody has been with us, because everybody gets kind of what we're up against. But I will tell you this, it's going to be incredibly gratifying when we get here the weekend of December 17th to the 20th, and we're able to see a filled room of passionate, die-hard fitness and bodybuilding fans witnessing history. And we got a hell of a contest plan, a big-time lineup, so it's going to be
Tamer,
fun.
let me ask you now, you're the production guy on this whole thing, okay? You put together the Olympia, then you put it in his hands. Obviously, you trust him more than anybody. He's been doing this a long time. What can the fans expect? Are they going to be getting a watered-down Olympia? Are they expecting kind of a Olympia light this year because of all these changes, Tamer? Or you got this?
No, that's just not the way that Dan and I and Jake and the whole team think about it. Trust me, we're talking extensively. How can we still produce an absolutely outstanding show in just 1 month? We're not going to put any excuses to ourselves. We understand the brand value of the Olympia, and we're going to shock the world with an absolutely outstanding event. But the great thing, Dan, is that some of the fans are not going to be able to be here, but that's not going to be a problem because we have a great live stream.
Yeah, we're going to put on a pay-per-view, and we're kind of taking it up another level. That was one of Jake's real signature moves when he took over and he acquired the event. He said, I want to make sure we make this available to the world, not just the way that it's always been made available, a next level, a heightened state of coverage and a more weekend-long viewing experience where we're going to cover prejudging. Remember, in the past, the webcast, we didn't even cover prejudging.
That's right.
In the past. So we're going to have coverage of prejudging, and we're even going to have footage around the Olympia Fan Pavilion, which is going to be a sponsor, exhibitor-driven
So it's
component.
full on Olympia. You got
Full-blown.
fans are obviously
Yeah.
coming, VIPs are in attendance, companies are coming, setting up with what we call the expo. It's
To meet the Olympians.
Meet
fans
the
go-
Olympians, press conference, the Weeder Superstar Seminar. We got everything.
The whole thing. The only thing that will be different, and it's important, we're not ignoring the realities of safety. And we're going to be doing everything we can to remain as compliant. There is a lot of square footage in this building, and that's why we're able to do it here. That's the key. Everybody says, oh, why is this so different? It's the square footage and it's the open space. When it comes to safety protocol, open space is the key. And here in this facility, and also across the way at the attached Hyatt Regency Orlando, which is our host hotel, we have a lot of space to work with. So that allows us to execute this event.
Sean, the Olympia is the Olympia. You've been in a whole bunch. You really haven't missed one. It doesn't matter where it is.
No, it doesn't. And what's great about it is it's almost kind of a homecoming here. It's been many, many years. Since 1991, the last Mr. Olympia was held here, and it's Mr. Olympia big because this whole production thing is way bigger than it was back in 1991, not to mention all the divisions. I think we have upwards of like 10 different divisions. As a matter of fact, with the Nationals being held this weekend, remember, the guy that won the Nationals a year ago will be competing on the Olympia stage, Hunter Labrada. So there's going to be some guys that win their pro card this year that may be on the Olympia stage next year.
And I know you like to talk history all the time. Now, the last time the Olympia was in Orlando was 1991.
Yeah.
That was when Lee Haney won his
last one.
eighth. He won his 8th and final Sandow Trophy. And of course, ironically, we're back here in Orlando where Phil Heath is going to try to equal that achievement in the same city. And I know that's an event you were in, and probably some great memories for sure.
Well, you know what they say about the Olympia. History will be made, and of course it will be on pay-per-view, and all the changing information of the flights, the hotels, all that stuff, a lot of them are being very accommodating with the fees and things like that. So all that information is going to be on MrOlympia.com.
Dan, you probably get pretty thirsty trying to put this Olympia on in such a short span of time. What do you do?
But you know what, though? Here at the Olympia, thirst is never an issue anymore.
No, it's not.
Thanks to the folks at Northern Chill.
Hey.
You know, I got to be honest with you, what a great partner they've been. I know you just kind of threw out the gratuitous plug, but what a great partner they've been, along with Trifecta and Wings of Strength. And we have such great sponsorship support who have been sort of unwavering regardless of the circumstances. And look, the Olympia represents something more than just crowning champions. It's sort of the central main artery of our fitness community and the things that we do, and it brings companies together, it brings apparel brands and sports nutrition brands and equipment brands together, and it's a really meaningful part of what we do, and it goes beyond just crowning champions. But I can tell you right now, there are some great champions in this year's lineup, and we're pretty amped up about it.
One of those champions is Jake Wood, our owner.
For sure.
His passion is unparalleled. He gets compared a lot to Joe Weider, with his passion, his love for bodybuilding and all that, and that's exactly what we needed this year. Quite frankly, this might have been a canceled event under any other circumstances. Jake embraced it, took it on, gave you the reins, and said, Dan, do what you got to do, but we're going to have this show will go on.
And not only will it go on, not only did he say go forward, but I'll take it one step further. For those of you guys who don't know this year at Olympia weekend, despite the significant reduction in the amount of tickets that we're allowed to sell, despite the significant reduction in the exhibitor support that we're going to have, because obviously a lot of companies can't make the trip this year, despite all of those reductions, we are going to give away more prize money than has been given away at any event in the history of this industry. So if that doesn't say everything you need to hear about Jake Wood and our new ownership, I don't know what does.
Sean, take us out.
Well, you guys don't want to miss this, the 56th running of the Joe Weider Mr. Olympia weekend right here in Orlando. Stay tuned to MrOlympia.com. For Dan, Tamer, and Bob, I'm Sean Ray.